Y'all get your coffee and dessert and gather in. Thank you for being here. Our friend Rob Frazier on the end of it. Say hey to hello. We met Rob back in the 1900s. And Rob will tell you about himself, his adventure with Petra and his musical journey. The Lord gave him a gift that he didn't give me, and I've told him this before. Rob is an excellent worship leader, and I told Rob, he asked us about helping him with worship at Pleasant View Baptist when we lived out in Robertson County, and I said, Rob, when God was handing out worship leading gifts, I must have been in the bathroom because I didn't get that. And invited us to do that a few times, and I'm grateful for that. But it sure is out of our.
I don't agree with you there. I think you're wonderful worship leader. Wonderful worship songs for sure.
And then our daughter Heidi, our only begotten daughter, in whom we are well pleased.
And our son-in-law.
And I'm grateful for how he treats our daughter and our 3 granddaughters that they have. Well, I promised Jack that I would do this song this time around, and it's about baseball. Benny and Joe were old friends. They both loved the game of baseball. They filled those seats behind home plate from early spring till late fall. One day Benny's heart got tired. For him the game of life was over. Joe told him as they said goodbye, get us good seats over yonder. Well, the home team was back in town and the weather, it was sunshine. But Joe couldn't bear that empty seat. He was on his porch at game time. When all at once in his front yard there stood his best friend Benny. Joe jumped up and said, oh buddy, we can catch the last 5 innings. Well, Benny said, Joe, I can't stay long. I just came back to tell you there's baseball up in heaven, but that's not all the good news. They got me playing shortstop like a dream someday I would be, that I just thought you'd want to know. You'll be pitching Thursday. I just thought you'd want to know, Joe, you'll be pitching Thursday. Can't vouch for the theology in that song, but makes a good point. Brother Rob.
Oh, okay. We're going down the road here, but you did tell me. That's great. Love that. Well, it's great to be here. I've loved friendship we've enjoyed these last number of years, but we do go way back to Steve and Annie's early time in Nashville, and mine as well, with their group Dogwood, way back in the day. And I was in this rock band Petra. We were just talking beforehand that back then there wasn't genre-related concerts. It was if it was a Christian concert, you might find one night where you'd have a rock and roll band, you might have a black gospel quartet and a southern gospel quartet all on the same night. So you could count on one thing for sure. Some people were going to love you and some were going to hate you. You could count on that. But that's when we got to know each other. Of course, I won't brag on them. They won't brag on themselves, but I will brag on them just a little bit. I don't know if you know that they are actually historical figures. They are mentioned in a plaque down on Music Row, put up by the historic, what is it called again? National Historic Register, as being some of the founders of the early Christian CCM music here in Nashville, along with Amy Grant and Michael W. Smith. So y'all are famous. They won't say that.
More like a hysterical plaque.
Well, I want to do one of my songs that was my first #1 hit when I was a solo artist after I left the group. And it was back in 1986. It was in the era when the evangelical church was really kind of just finding its feet and having its voice be heard in popular culture, whereas we kind of had avoided that until that time. Led to a lot of good things, including the moral majority and more having our voice heard in the process. Some good things, not so good things. Inspired this song when I went back to my 10th high school reunion, which was a long time ago. I noticed that the church on the corner near my high school had been torn down and up on a parking lot. That song came to mind. Well, my hometown may not look like much to you. Where I live, it's all I've got. Lately change has been coming, but what's it coming to? Where there used to be a church, now it's a parking lot. We got our houses and we got our swimming pools. Everybody's lives are so in the streets. But keeping up appearances is our only rule. And we've lost the power we once found on our knees. And doesn't anybody pray in this town anymore? Doesn't anybody want to stand up for the Lord? While we shake our heads and wonder what it's all coming to. God says, I need one righteous man. Is it gonna be you? Outside the back door, tell me what you see. Do you see the people still living in the streets? And human life just ain't worth what it used to be. From the nursing home to the nursery, families are struggling in our neighborhoods. Feels like loyalty and love got a burden. Feels like God has been forgotten or misunderstood, but I'm telling you, He remains the one who's in control. Well, doesn't anybody pray in this town anymore? Doesn't anybody want to stand up for the Lord? While we wring our hands and wonder what it's all coming to, God says, I need one, the righteous man. Is it gonna be you? He will lead us to justice and truth, a foundation on which we can stand. For if we humble ourselves, get down on our knees and pray, God will heal this land. But doesn't anybody pray in my town anymore? Doesn't anybody want to stand up for the Lord? I'm talking about my hometown, my hometown, my hometown, my hometown. Anybody pray in my hometown, my hometown? Doesn't anybody pray in this town anymore? Doesn't anybody want to stand up for the Lord? There's no good shaking your head and wait for someone else to do what's right. God says, I need one, a righteous man. He says, I need one righteous man. He's looking for one righteous woman, oh man. Is it gonna be you?
Heidi. Heidi was a 1980 model.
You're not supposed to
Would
say
I be
that.
called vintage now?
She is really, I'm sorry all of you have daughters, but we got the best one. So anyway, we're going to do, thank you, it makes me cry, Paul.
That one makes me cry, Paul.
Tell them what you were talking about, Duck Dynasty guy, what he does
Oh,
in light of this song we're going to do.
yeah, we're going to do this song, and this introduction will make sense once you hear the song. But I was watching Phil Robertson, I think it's Unashamed, the thing on YouTube, and they were the son was talking about his dad and how he would invite these people into the duck line, and once they got there, they were kind of stuck, and they couldn't leave. And he said he knew exactly what was going to happen, because Phil would say to the guy that, "Tell me your story." He always did. "Tell me your story." And the guy would tell the story, and then he'd say, "Now I'm going to tell you my story." And he knew he was going to get the gospel. So everyone in this room has a story. And if you want to talk to someone, ask them their story. And after they tell their story, now you have the right to say, "Can I tell you mine?" That's what this song's about.
The woman at the well couldn't wait to tell about a man who told her all she'd ever done. She went back to town where the men all gathered around, saying, "I believe I found the Holy One." And they came to him because of her, just an ordinary woman with ordinary words. Everybody has a story that God can use to share His glory. If it's told, it might touch some weary soul with God's amazing love. After all He's done for us, why would we keep it to ourselves? Everybody has a story to tell. Blind and begging by the road, led to Jericho. He heard the Nazarene was passing by. He cried out to him, "Lord, I want to see again." Jesus stopped and gave him back his sight. Though it happened long ago, Matthew, Mark, and Luke wrote it down so we would know. Everybody has a story that God can use to share His glory. If it's told, it might touch some weary soul with God's amazing love. After all He's done for us, why would we keep it to ourselves? Everybody has a story to tell. Some are written in the Bible for all the world to see. Some are written in the hearts of you and me. Everybody has a story to tell.
Well, one of my favorite stories to tell is my mother's story. My mom and dad married in 1947, and were married how long? 65.
65.
And they're from West Virginia, where I was born and half raised in Chattanooga, West Virginia. And then they moved to, when I was 10, moved to Point Pleasant. But Dad had a job. He wasn't making a lot of money. And Mom decided to add to the coffers by going to nursing school down in Logan, West Virginia. It's 12 miles away. And so something happened. And keep in mind, they were both, what do you call them, rounders?
Yeah, they made the rounds.
Yeah, they would go to the Ritzy Ray, and they liked to drink and dance and just cavort. And
They were so cool.
they would do
Then they became Christians. Oh.
They would do the jitterbug, and at their 50th anniversary, Mom said, "I'm going to jitterbug. I don't care if it breaks my back." And they did. But Mom would tell my sister and I this story about a choice she made that literally changed everyone behind her. From the last house in the hollow, up on Godly Branch, she walked out that dirt road on her way to take a chance. That night school down in Logan seemed like the only way. They needed more to feed a family than just a taxi driver's pay. Her young husband kept the baby, and she'd be back at 10. But it was 11:15 when she came walking in. He said, "How'd things go in class tonight?" And she said, "I don't know." Before I made it to the bus stop, Jesus saved my soul. I heard singing coming from the church on the hill, sweetest sound I ever heard, breaking down my will. I could feel it, the Spirit calling out to me. Now I believe, and that's why said, "I know you made a good nurse, but did you change your mind? And we could really use the mind to help us make it through these times. And girl, it just sounds crazy to hear you say you're born again." She said, "If you'll just go there with me, I know you'd understand." Singing, coming from the church on the hill, sweetest sound I ever heard, breaking down my will. I can feel it, the Spirit
family harmony, something else, isn't it? I love the Word of God. I hope you do too.
Yeah.
I know that it reveals Jesus to us. It's also a comfort and a guide, a light to our path. It's a song that came to me in about 20 minutes many years ago as I was finishing my devotions. Just the theme popped in my head. Has that ever happened to you, Steve? A lot of times it's like pulling teeth to write a song, but occasionally some things are kind of inspired. Thank God for that. You are my friend and my Savior. You will always be with me. Got your word on me. Got your word on me. And my sins have been forgiven because you paid my penalty. Got your word on it. Got your word on it. Your word will last forever. I know your word will never fade away. When this life will have struggles, that I can be sure. Got your word on it. Got your word on it. But as I lean upon you, your faithfulness endures. Got your word on it. Got your word on it. Your word will last forever. I know your word will never fade away. Though the darkness around me, still your love is around me. Help me carry on. 'Cause every time I look into your precious book, it always makes me stronger. Now I've got a place in heaven, my name upon the door. Got your word on it. Got your word on it. And in that place there is no sorrow or suffering anymore. Got your word on it. Got your word on it. Your word will last forever. I know your word will never fade away. Father, your word will last forever. Forever, your word will never fade away. I've got your word. Your word on it.
That'll preach. How do you do this? We're going to do this and then tell them what you said about your oldest.
Well, I think it's,
Well, I mean, after you sing.
yes.
Okay.
But when I sang this originally,
Oh, yeah.
I was 13. So, and it was ahead of my time when I actually sang this.
Christmas to the house that I grew up in. Going back for something after all these years. I drove down Monterey Street, felt a little sadness, and I turned left on Laurel, and the house appeared. I snuck up to that rocking chair where the winter sunlight slanted on the screened-in porch, and I stared out past the shade tree that my laughing daddy planted on the day that I was born. And I let time go by so slow. And I made every moment last. And I thought about take so long, and they go so fast. Across the street, where Randall's oldest daughter must have come home, the two boys built a snowman by the backyard swings. I thought of old man Randall and his Christmas decorations, how he used to leave them up till early spring. And I thought of all the summers that I paced that porch and knew I'd die of boredom there. And I thought of what I'd give another summer living where a day feels like a year. And I let time go by so slow. And I made and I thought about years, how they take so long, and they go so fast. But then the door flew open, and my mother's voice was loud, as she called back to my daddy, "Oh, come and look who's here." And I thought about years.
So I was 13 when we sang this, and as we were practicing, I was into the song and I went, I did that on Saturday. I'm the mom. My oldest came home from college, and what did I do? I went out on the porch. Look who's here. So now I've lived out this story, and the years have gone by.
Good stuff.
Marches on. On that theme,
My life
one of my favorite verse. You know, everybody's got favorite verses, but one that has meant the most to me probably in the last 8 years is in Psalm 90, verse 12. It says, "Teach us to number our days aright, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." I was studying that psalm and didn't know it at the time that I had kidney cancer. But I read that psalm, and I felt that, you know how you hear the leading of the Spirit. And I heard that still small voice as I read Psalm 90, and I heard, "Read it again." And I mean, at the time, I didn't know anything was wrong at all. I was just reading that particular psalm. I heard that still small voice that said, "Read it again." So I read it again. Go home and read it. It'll wake you up. And so I read it, and then I finished it. I hear that still small voice say, "Read it again." And was confused, you know. So I read the third time, "Read it again." And I slammed my Bible shut. And I left the room because I thought, okay, something's going on. But that verse, "Teach us to number our days aright, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." And I figured out during that period of time, there's a right way to number your days, and there's a wrong way to number your days. The wrong way to number your days is to say, I have a limited number of days, and then I'm going to die. That's the wrong way to number them. The right way to number your days is to say, I have a limited amount of time. Now what am I going to do with it? And whatever age you are, everyone can answer that. How are you going to? We're all terminal. We all have an expiration date. How do we number our days? Do we number them aright, or do we number them wrong? So I don't know. This is kind of a downer thing. But
I think we need to take an offering.
But I had surgery and everything turned out okay.
Praise the Lord.
But that was a season that God got my attention with that passage.
Well, in light of that, I'm going to change direction and do a song. That's okay. I was going to do kind of a rock and roll song, but I'm going to do something a little more in the theme. I got to Nashville. I thought I was a pretty good songwriter. You know, I was kind of a rock star at my little Christian college in New York. And I thought, well, this city's going to love me. And then I started meeting people like Steve Chapman and other great songwriters. And I thought, I've got a lot to learn. And so I did. And I started writing a lot of country songs. Country songs, in many ways, is the pinnacle of creative songwriting in terms of the way the lyric and the music pulls together. Growing up in the North, I didn't have much regard for country music, but I sure do now. So I've been writing some, and this is a song kind of in the same vein that we were talking about, not explicitly gospel, but it contains some truth, and a song recorded by an independent country artist named Chad Welling. You might have heard it, maybe not. Steve, I want my volume way too loud. Ain't it good to be alive? Now give me a little more than that. Come on. Ain't it good to have somebody by your side? Life ain't a mystery, but it can take a long time just to figure it out. Nobody makes it alone. Everybody needs someone sometimes to lean on. So many people looking for something that's been right here all day long. And when you get right down to it, it ain't about the money. When you get right down to it, it's not about power or fame. It's about love. Now what good's a house that's not a home? Why chase the things that are here today and gone? 'Cause love ain't just the best thing. Love is the only thing that we could ever leave behind. When you get right down to it, it's not about the money. When you get right down to it, it's not about power or fame. When the final lines are read, parting words are said, and they lay you down in the ground. And when you get right down to it, it's about love. It's the light in your lover's eyes. It's a newborn baby's cry. Nothing else even comes close to what really matters most. Is when you get right down to it. It ain't about the money. When you get right down to it, it's not about power or fame. But when the final lines are read, parting words are said, and they lay you down in the ground. And when you get right down to it, it's about love. When you get right down to it, it's about love. Oh.
Yeah, if I had it to do over again, I'd have written that, Rob. Yeah.
It's a good segue into the next one.
Yeah, there's a story that I tell about Heidi. I enjoy the game of golf, and the church, Belmont Church, where I met Tim Maddox years ago.
50, how many 50 years ago?
Yeah.
Lots of 50 years ago.
Back when I had hair.
Lots of hair.
They were going to have a little scramble, and I was decided to get my clubs out and go up in the front yard and see if that wonderful swing was still not there. And I took out a 5-iron and I was out there swinging it. And Heidi was, I think were you 8 years old?
8 or 10.
Yeah, and she came out, and what you said, let me try that.
Yeah. Let me take a swing.
Yeah. So I handed her my 5-iron, and she stepped back and took a swing. I thought, the word that came to my mind when I saw her swing was scholarships, you know. So I said, turn around there, let me show you what I've learned about the swing. And I put my hand on her curly head and said, just kind of look down at the ball. And I said, see that white clover right there? Just see if you can swing your club back and forth over that. And she heard the word swing. And she took a full swing. And that heavy 5-iron adult man club was a little heavy for her. And it whipped in her hands and caught me right there. If you look close, there's a scar. And I
did that.
Yeah, I went reeling off into the yard, and I could feel the knot coming up under my fingers, and I'm standing, and Heidi's just in horror, just looking at me, and I took my hand off, and blood went, phew. And she took off running into the house, leave me out there to die. Well, what I didn't understand was she was going to get Annie. But so I went to the hospital, and I got a total of 8 stitches. 4 in and 4 out. So I got.
You want to compare scars? You want to compare scars?
Yeah.
Another golf injury over there? Is that right?
That's a story you'll want to hear afterwards. See the guy in the back with the green shirt on? He's responsible for that one.
It's not supposed to be a contact sport, you guys.
Well, it scarred me emotionally. I don't even putt now.
So
Stay away from it all.
my mom was visiting. She took me to the hospital, and on the way back, I said, I'm stopping at a store, at a pharmacy, because I sell cards. So I bought this card. No, you bought the card. Mom took you to the store. Is that how it happened?
Yeah.
You took me to the hospital. I was so avid, I didn't know what I was doing.
No, I found a card that had a little frog
That's right.
and on a lily pad, and inside it said, "I feel like pond scum." And I really did.
And what did you draw on the frog?
She drew the little wound on the frog.
So when I got home, she was a little reserved, and I pulled her up on my lap, and I said, "Look, two things. I can tell people I spent time with my kids, and I'll have scars to prove it. And there's someone else who loves you very much and has scars to prove it." So I just turned it into a teaching moment. Yeah. Speaking of scars.
On the faces of the soldiers who have fought for our freedoms, on the arms of the brave ones who have saved us from the fires, on the knees of the mothers who have prayed for wayward children, you will find them. You will find them. Scars of love on the skin, proofs on the outside of what lies within. Let us all bow our heads, thank our God above for all the scars. Scars of love. On the shoulders of the farmers who have carried our hunger, on the backs of the miners who have warmed us with their cold, on the lips of the preachers who have never feared the truth, you will find them. You will find them. Scars of love on the skin, proofs on the outside of what lies within. Let us all bow our heads, thank our God above for all the scars. Scars of love. On the hands and the feet of a carpenter from Galilee. Can you see scars of love on the skin? Proof on the outside of what lies within. Let
I wanted to play that chord like that just to get your attention. Did you hear that minor chord? Enough of all this silly stuff.
Yeah.
Let's rock and roll. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm going to ask y'all to sing along with us here. All you need to remember are the words go, say, and do. And the words follow you. My dad was, the scripture says, be imitator, Paul said, be imitators of me, even as I am of Christ. And my dad was he could have written that. He was a man worthy of imitating. Preacher, we didn't tell you after we sang a song about Logan. Dad did get saved, and he became a preacher. And the man that mentored him in the ministry was a man named Steve Linings, and that's who I'm named after, Steve Linings. So the spiritual roots run deep, and I hope that all of us can be someone that is worthy to imitate. It's not easy. We all stumble, but if we are following him, we can be okay for people to imitate us. That's the gist of that. Rob, I think you've sung this with us before, so if you want to join in, all right. Until I take my last step, until I take my final breath, until I close my eyes in death, I want to follow you. I want to follow you. I want to go. I want to go where I see you go. I want to say what I hear you say, do. I want to do what I see you do, and follow you, faithfully follow you. Until my work down here is done, until my race on earth is run, until the setting of my sun. Oh, I want to follow you. I want to follow you. I want to go. I want to go where I see you go. I want to say what I hear you say. I want to do what I see you do, and follow you, faithfully follow you. And when it's time for me to cross that river, I want to follow you, Lord, into the river. I want to go where I see you go. I want to say what I hear you say. I want to do what I see you do, and follow you, faithfully follow you. Follow you. I want to follow you.
Well, I had some of that music for you. Sure
Yeah,
love
a
it.
pleasant view back, first time.
No, I think you did that here.
Like we did, but we did it out there too. We've done it better.
No telling what I've forgotten these days. No telling. I want to apologize for playing that minor chord last time. I thought it was my turn. That's why I did that. I wasn't trying to.
Oh, no, that's a problem.
My mistake.
I'll go for a minor chord in tempo.
Okay. Well, songwriting is one of the great joys of my life, and it is of Steve's as well. And there's just something wonderful about being able to sit down with a blank piece of paper, just an idea, maybe with a friend, maybe by yourself, and a few hours later you have a creation, and it's just a reflection of the Creator God who's given us all our gifts. So as I said, when I came to Nashville, I came to join the band, but I also got connected to the songwriter community here, very many talented people. Now, most people think Nashville is just a country music town, but it's really not. People from all genres, rock, gospel, even classical, sometimes come here looking for inspiration. And so I wrote a song with a guy for the very first time, a guy named Danny Flower, and we just wrote this song, and it's called "Stay With." It was called "Stay With Me Tonight." Now, I have to say, it wasn't a song necessarily about a married couple. It could have been about a couple in crisis. I don't really know. I wasn't reflecting my best biblical worldview when I wrote this lyric. I'll be honest, because it contains the line, "It doesn't matter if it's wrong or right." Now, I was walking with the Lord then. My testimony was a little struggling a little bit, but a little something off in my head said, "Oh, you can't write that." But I kind of gave it to peer pressure. I said, "I've just never written with this guy before." And I said, "Well, no one's ever going to hear this song, probably." So lo and behold, our song "Stay With Me Tonight" found its way to the band Kansas, and who had a couple of Christian members in it, including a guy named Kerry Livgren. And they liked our music. Kerry wrote later in his book, "We love this music, but we could never sing a song written by obviously godless songwriters who would write a song that contained the line, 'It doesn't matter if it's wrong or right.'" So that was something I had to live down for many, many years, but it taught me a powerful lesson that if you're putting something out into the world, be careful what it is, because you never know how far it's going to go and how it's going to affect your testimony. So they took our song, our slightly cheesy little seduction song, and turned it into a pretty profound lyric, pretty profound song about the price we pay for fame. And it went to be their last big hit. It's been 40 years now, and it still gets played on Monday Night Football from time to time, so it's been a real blessing in my life. And you're not going to see a senior citizen get a workout, because it's pretty high. You know that something's happening, and it's bigger than your life. But it's only what you're hearing. Do you still remember when the morning light has come and the songs are playing over and over till you do it all over again? Play the game tonight. Can you tell me if it's wrong or right? Is it worth the time? Is it worth the price? Do you see yourself in the white spotlight? Play the game tonight. And the curtains open to the roaring of the crowds. You will feel it all around you. And it's finally happening, and it's all come true for you. And the songs are playing over and over till you do it all over again. And play Please, send it out to them.
Why did I want to get a cigarette lighter? That was cool. We're grateful to be among such
Oh, stop.
songwriting glory there. I remember that song. Yeah, I think. Heidi?
Yes.
We're going to do a song. We found this song, and I think, I can't remember the girl's name that wrote it. But,
Glenmore is who sang
yeah.
it. We hear Glenmore sing. You know Glenmore. But it's Matthew 11. What is the passage? You'll know.
CD. I think you did this in 2000 or 2000, just before you got married.
I think it was right after.
Right after, to Brother Emmett, who is a Georgia Bulldog by birth, and his daughter goes to UT. So
God put her there.
yeah, there's conflict in the house.
There's a little smack talk.
Yeah, but you taught them when they were all the girls. I said, "How was it? Go Dogs," or whatever it was, and she has betrayed you, my friend.
I try to say that I root for the Bogs, and neither one of them like that. So, on both sides.
But she did a.
The Fogs.
Dogs and the Bogs.
That's wrong on every level.
Does anybody have a CD player? I think I may have asked this last time, but anybody still have a CD player? Okay. Sharon, you'll like this. You live in the country. And, this is 10 pre-1900 hymns with nature sounds. And Steve may think there's a deer in there somewhere. There is an elk bugle amongst all that. But Heidi did those 10 hymns and the nature sounds, and we told the producer, our friend Lindsay Williams, nothing's sudden, and just it's calming. And people have used that in birthing rooms. They've used it at
Or
hospice. Anyway, so if you
Don't listen while operating heavy machinery.
yeah, don't listen to it and operate heavy machinery. So Steve, if y'all have another baby, there you go. I had to go there, didn't I?
Somebody's not smiling there.
Yeah. So I have another one. Anybody have a birthday today, or recently, or very soon?
Is Kevin? Are you saying something?
We got an anniversary back here.
Oh, that'll do.
That'll do.
Today.
Jack. Oh. How many, Jack?
42.
He answered quickly. That's good, my friend. 42. How does one man make one woman happy for 42 years?
It's easy.
Yeah. What was it you said the other day? What's mine? What were we talking
Well,
about?
usually he answers that question with, I don't try to run her life and I don't try to run mine. That's the answer. But the other day, I said, what's yours is what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine.
You just learned to live there. Had an 18-year-old boy, kid, call one day, and his dad wrote some songs, and he was an aspiring songwriter. So we're talking on the phone, and I said, it's strange to be talking to a kid. I was 69, about to turn, or had turned 69, and I said, it's strange to be writing with a kid that's 18 years old. And in a conversation, I said, I'm nearly 69. And he said, well, right there's your title, or right there's your hook. I said, oh. So we started writing this song by email. And it's about the need to rest. He said, I'm nearly 69. I'm on the backside of my time. In the mirror, what I see, looking back at me, is a man who's tired and weary to the bone. Seems like I've spent my years running in high gear. So much on my list, I can't keep it up like this. I gotta get some rest. Then I'll press on. I'm gonna shut it all down, get away from town, take my tent, take my truck, watch the sun coming up, take a rod and take a reel, find the lake and just be still, and make some plans to have no plans at all. I'm gonna rest my weary soul for a while, then I'll press on. Well, I was there on the day he packed up to drive away. He had a photograph of his bride on the dash. He's missed her so bad since she's been gone. He was counting on the road to help lighten up the load, and before we said goodbye, he He looked me in the eye and he said, son, I'll be back, then I'll press on. I'm gonna shut it all down, get away from town, take my tent, take my truck, watch the sun coming up, take my gifts and take some tunes, sing to her beyond the moon, make some plans, I had no plans at all. I'm gonna rest my weary soul for a while, then I'll press on. Shut it all down, get away from town, take my tent, take my truck, watch the sun coming up, take the word and take a prayer, find a hill and meet God there, make some plans, I had no plans at all. I'm gonna rest my weary soul for a while, I gotta rest my weary soul for a while, then I'll press on.
Well, I've been married for, oh my gosh, over 45 years now. I've been in a cross-cultural marriage. Because I was born in New Jersey and raised in Pennsylvania. My wife was born in Georgia and raised in Kentucky. So we have been struggling to learn each other's ways all these years. Not really struggling, but it is interesting how we have different frames of reference. She's a special gal. She would have been here tonight, but she's working tonight. She's a personal trainer, helping people not look like her husband. That's what she does. She's training folks after hours, and she could be with that. She's my special gal, and I wrote a song about her. When I wake up in the morning, you're right by my side. My Kentucky lady. No matter what happens, I know you never hurt my pride. My Kentucky girl. The first time that I saw you, I just couldn't look away. My Kentucky lady. And all the years since you grow more beautiful each day. My Kentucky girl. Everybody said it would never work, 'cause we were coming from two different worlds. Now we're closer to the end than we are to the stars. My Kentucky lady, but I want you to know that you'll always have my heart, my Kentucky girl. I love you, my Kentucky girl.
Rob, are you game for doing the one that we wrote together?
Yes, I am.
And then Heidi will do one more, and then we'll be finished. But go ahead and do that, and then tell them where the idea came from.
Well, I think we really should have Annie introduce the song because it's kind of her idea.
You surprised?
Yes.
We're surprising you?
Yes, we
You're surprising Annie.
That's not
What did you used to say when I would have to travel? You would hug me and say, "Let me memorize."
Oh, yeah, memorize you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold still. I'm memorizing you.
Yeah.
What a great idea. See, brought it to our songwriting session. And you got your lyrics there?
I do.
I forgot to bring them, but I wrote them out.
I got it.
Make sure I'm in tune here or close to it.
So I get a third?
Not a
Oh, we didn't say that.
Not a dime.
A word, a third. In Nashville, it's a word is a third, right?
That's true. Anything's a third. Well, I guess you got us there. Oh, well. Let's see if I remember now. Girl, I hate to leave, but it's time for me to go. There'll be 1,000 miles tomorrow between me and you. So let me hold you close tonight. And before we say goodbye, I just wanna memorize your face, the way I feel in your embrace. Lord knows I'm gonna need something that's strong to hold on to. Memorize your touch on my skin, and every moment if I can remember the love in your eyes, I can make it through. I wanna memorize you. Well, I call when I'm away, but girl, you know it's true. The telephone can't put me next to you. So let the fire burn tonight, and let's not put out that light. 'Cause I just wanna memorize your face, the way I feel in your embrace. Lord knows I'm gonna need something that's strong to hold on to. Memorize your touch on my skin, taking every moment. If I can remember the love in your eyes, I can make it through. I wanna memorize you. You call my name, your funny laugh, you're so beautiful, you're like a photograph. I'll hold you in my heart like the treasure you are until I get back. I wanna memorize you. Lord knows I'm gonna need something that's strong to hold on to. Memorize your touch on my skin, taking every moment in. If I can remember the love in your eyes, I can make it through. I wanna memorize you. love that song. Sounds like Kenny Chesney ought to do it. We actually tried to get it to Kenny. He would sound good on that, but he doesn't do outside material. If only he did, he might really have a career. You know, if only he listened to outside.
Yeah, really. Him and Keith.
Yeah, that's right. Those two guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob, for joining us this
Oh, it's been
evening.
a pleasure.
And welcome to Lighthouse Christian Fellowship. And, Brother John Yancey, and his pastor, you met him.
Yes, I did.
How many of you are not members here at LCF, and you'd like to join tonight? we get more members that way.
It's been a joy just to hear you three sing. I mean, so beautiful.
It's fun. We traveled with our kids. We said from college to college, and we did. We took them with us, both kids, all over the place. And then when they went to college, then it was back to me and Steve.
Yeah.
So it's so fun to get to do this again, Heidi.
We used to, when they were little, we would let people, like we'd get to an auditorium and people would, we'd arrange for people to come and take Nathan and Heidi. They were just little tykes. And so we could set up and concentrate on getting ready for the evening. And we were in, I think it was Indiana or somewhere, and this guy showed up and he said, I'm here to carry your kids and take your kids. And I said, okay. And he drove off with them.
And that was the last time that would ever happen.
I literally turned around, went back in the auditorium, and my blood ran cold. I said, what would happen if some guy walked in right now and said, I'm here to take your kids, or some, couple? And that just shook me to the core. I said, they'll never do that again. And so they traveled with us, and we were grateful for they basically drove us crazy.
We had our fun.
We did.
We would, I think it was my brother that did this, not me. We would turn around and tell the punchline.
Oh, yeah.
For the joke before he said it to the people behind us. And we would
With
let
help like
dance.
that, right?
That was Nathan.
Yeah. And to appease them, what would we do every fifth day?
Oh, toy stop.
Toy stop. And we'd been gone long enough that they had 2 toy stops every fifth day. So you can see we were gone 10 days. We were about to come through Memphis on the way home, and it was either Nathan or Heidi said, it was the 4th day. And am I telling this right?
Yeah.
And one of them said, can we stop and stay overnight here?
We wanted that toy stop. That was a big deal.
Anyway, thank you all for joining us this evening, and appreciate it. And those who brought desserts, we appreciate that. And again, Craig and Katie for overseeing the bar back there. Speaking of a bar, Rob and Annie and I sang at the Commodore.
Look at the bar, you point finger at me.
We sang at the Commodore. Was it last Thursday?
Thursday night.
Yeah. Y'all know about that place? Yeah, we went and shared.
Closed our set with
this song.
your song.
This song, and sing with us.
Yeah, sing with me.
We sang this at Pleasantview too.
Love this.
I sing this, but it actually is Heidi's song.
Oh, yeah.
So I commandeered it, but we'll let the original person do it tonight.
Righteousness have I alone. That's why I need Jesus. I cannot for my sin atone. That's why I need Jesus. Nothing good in my heart dwells. To please my God, how oft I fail. Oh, how I long to do it well. That's why I need Jesus. keep these vows I made. That's why I need Jesus. That's why I need Jesus.
Let's pray. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father, for this time together, and we ask you to bless each one as they head home, and keep them safe, and keep the evil one away from them, and help us to daily embrace the fact that we desperately need you, and we admit it willingly.